Careful though. It's spicy.
Well, how the turntables. Welcome back to Rival Talk for the wild card weekend of the NFL season. As always, I am your host, and of course, I am joined by our lovely co-host, although he pretty much runs the show now. Marcus, how are you feeling out there heading into this weekend?
Whoa, sorry. Apparently, I'm a little choked up. Wow. I don't know where that came from.
Is that a sign of things to come?
Yeah, I'm feeling very anxious. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's no secret. Here we are. It's round 3 of rivalry week for us, and it happens to be in the playoffs. So
weird.
Got exactly. I mean, I got exactly what I wanted. I don't know if you wanted it, but
I didn't want to play you or the Lions. So out of the two things I didn't want to happen, one of them happened. So that's great.
Yep. So, yeah. Obviously, we'll get into all that later, but it's going to be good. I'm going to say. Obviously, my tone is a lot different this time around than it was the last time we played each other for obvious reasons. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and we'll just kind of get into it here. First off, as far as picks go, you've wrapped it up pretty much because you had an incredible week while I just completely floundered away even more. So you got 13, I got 9. So congratulations, You're at 70, I'm at 60. It's pretty much over from here on out. I have to pretty much pick opposite you, even if I don't want to from here on out. So.
Oh, good. Well, yeah, and it's too bad that we didn't do +1, -1 last week. Then maybe it really would be out of reach. But you change the rules constantly. I never know what I'm dealing with.
Well, obviously we have to talk about the playoff scoring. So the playoff scoring this week, which we did talk about this heading into the year. I remember talking.
I don't remember that. I don't remember at all.
How convenient.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, so for this week, for wildcard week, we're going to do +1, -1. And then each week, it's kind of like, when you do NCAA March Madness brackets, each round you get more points for correct picks. So for divisional round, then it'll be +2, but there won't be a minus. The -1 is just for this weekend since there's still, a decent amount of games.
Okay.
So this week will be +1, -1, then next week +2 or 0, and then obviously after that +3 or 0. But then for the Super Bowl, it'll be +5 or 0 for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So obviously, like I said, regardless, if it's Bills Cowboys in the Super Bowl, obviously I'd like to pick the Bills, and you're going to pick the Bills, but I'm going to have to pick the Cowboys just to try and win. So that'll be
great.
That'll be awesome. So.
Or as long as I can just pick last, I'll just pick whoever you pick.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what I decide to do, right?
I know you'll decide to do whatever is best for you. So I just know I'm playing with one arm behind my back, and that's fine. I accept.
Yeah, you're playing with one arm behind your back, in which you've won 2 straight years, going on 3. So funny how that works.
It's about to come crashing down.
Anyways, I guess before we get into it, we'll quickly touch on the Pooch Pick. So the Pooch Picks video for this week is currently out. Put it out last night. We're going to have to go week by week with this. But we got Drake and DOG tied at 10-7 each. Drake's game was the Baltimore-Cincy game. He picked Baltimore. DOG's game was Dallas-Tampa Bay. He picked Dallas. So I think those are both some spicy picks right there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Then Jack decided, just let Jack continue to have at it. Had some fun with it. So let him keep getting his feet wet with it. He had the Chargers-Jaguars game, which is probably the toughest game this week in the pick, honestly. He picked the Chargers, and then by default, Henry picks the 49ers. So
okay, so first off, you give him the 49ers Seahawks game because you want him to jinx me. Then he very specifically doesn't make a pick in the video, and you still give him the 49ers to jinx me. So honestly, I think you're tempting the football gods more than Henry is by pushing him to that. So karma It is karma, and if you accept that karma, then go ahead.
I mean, hey, who knows? What if he would have picked the Seahawks?
He just wants both teams to have fun. That's all he wants.
It was a 50-50 chance. I'm just saying he could have picked the Seahawks, and then they for sure would have lost. So.
Yeah, well, he didn't do that. He just wants everybody to have a good time.
All right, he just wants everyone to have a smile on the face, be satisfied.
Yes, exactly. That's what Pug said.
All right, well, on that note, we'll go ahead and jump into it here. So let's get this spicy rival talk episode going. 49ers, Seahawks, wildcard weekend.
Well, do you want to talk? Maybe you want to discuss. I'm not going to talk about the Arizona Cardinals game one bit. I don't care about it, and we won last week. But perhaps you want to discuss your Seahawks victory to get into the playoffs last week.
Yeah, I suppose I could talk a little bit about that. So, yeah, I mean, I know the Rams have like a not even a B squad, probably a C team team, but again, it's still the Rams throughout history. They have owned us even when they've been bad. This is the first time that the Seahawks have swept the Rams since the 2013 season. So that was nice. Almost 10 years since that. And yeah, I mean, Geno didn't start out so great, but what I like seeing is that he was able to settle in and get back to himself, and he didn't let the game get away from him. He kept us in it and made the plays when it mattered and started using his legs when he needed to as well. So that's really a lot of the maturity and growth we've seen from Geno, from the way he used to be to what he is now, really wrapped up into this game. Like I said, started off as bad as it could get. Threw an interception to Jalen Ramsey, almost how it could have been a pick six if the Rams player would have caught that. I forgot who it was. And then he had another interception to Jalen Ramsey again. So again, it really was not a good, first half overall, but he came out and made the adjustments and he settled in and did what he needed to do and helped us get the win. So I will say, I don't know if you saw that touchdown pass to Tyler Lockett. That was
no, I don't think I did. Actually,
that was the best throw of the season, hands down. That was a beautiful spiral all the way in. That was perfectly placed. I mean, that you can't get any more of a perfect throw than what that was. So that was an amazing throw.
I want to say your game was on at the same time as the Dolphins-Jets game, and like the whole bar I was in was all Steelers fans, so everybody was getting into that game because the Steelers had just won and they needed the Dolphins to lose to make the playoffs. So I kind of fell in with the crowd, and that's the one I was actually going for the Dolphins just to make everybody upset. So a couple of my friends and I just cheered for the Dolphins every time when the Steelers were cheering for the Jets every time. It was just a fun little time. But so I did not really catch basically any of your game, actually.
Quickly, because you mentioned I'm going to get a little off topic here, but did you see that little screen grab of the score and your two former coaches there having a nice little moment?
Yes, I did. That was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. It's basically, Mike McDaniel and Rob Saleh, like they're hugging, but it looks like they're kissing.
And what was the score?
Is 6-9 on the bottom of the graphic. So 69 and two guys would appear to be kissing. It was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, that was quite a perfectly captured moment right there.
Yeah, that was. I laughed a good amount when I saw that, actually.
But yeah, so back to Seahawks. So they had a chance to win at the end with Jason Myers. Unfortunately, he banged it off the post. I blame that on myself because I was so nervous and stressed out that I couldn't even watch. I decided to close my eyes and cover my eyes and not watch the field goal. I've never done that before. Of course, when I do that, he misses. So from now on, I'll just put myself through the torture and just watch stressful field goals all the way through. He went, though, and redeemed himself in overtime and made that game-winning kick. Thanks in large part to an incredible season-saving play by Quandre Diggs. I don't know, did you see that one? Did you see this play? The Quandre Diggs interception?
It was an interception, right?
Yeah, where
I'm pretty sure I looked over and saw that near the. It was. I mean, then you basically had the ball like the 40-yard line, if I want to say.
Yeah. So the thing about this play though is Van Jefferson, he was wide open. Like there was some sort of busted coverage. There was nobody really within 10 yards of him. And so initially it's like, oh great, this is another Josh Jacobs situation. Where it's gonna be like an 80-yard game-winning touchdown. That's how our season's gonna end. Out of nowhere, Quandre Diggs just comes out of nowhere and makes an incredible leaping interception right in front of Bobby Wagner, and he points the ball right at Bobby as he goes out of bounds. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, it was because that was the season right there. Honestly, if Diggs, and what's funny about this is Diggs has dropped a couple easy picks this year where he's let the ball go right through his hands. In that situation, that ball, if he even tips it up or anything or it goes through his hands, yes, season's over because Van Jefferson has nobody around him, and that's it, game over.
Yeah.
So that was remarkable, honestly. That play, I've watched it over quite a few times because that really was a season-saving play for us. So
awesome.
Of course, the season-saving course. Then we won the game, and then the Lions had to go and win their game, and miraculously, it happened. I can't remember the last time the Lions really was able to control games over Green Bay the way they have in both games this year. But the Lions really they're going to be a team to watch out for next year.
They're for real, man.
Yeah,
they
are
completely for real. And I'm also now is Jared Goff like the quarterback going forward? I mean, he was good this year.
Yeah, he was. He did just enough. I think for the style of coaching that Dan Campbell is and just his system, I feel like it's just he's got a good thing there, and they're going to be.
It seems like they don't need to use a draft pick on a quarterback next year, at the very least. Not yet.
I know they're going to have what Rams give them, the 6th pick overall, 7th pick, something like that. So
yeah.
The Seahawks, by the way, end up with the 5th pick. So I think they're the first team in 20, 25 years to make the playoffs and have a top 5 pick. So that's awesome.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Yeah, 3 picks in the top 40 because we got pick number 5, number 38, and then we'll see what we get for the late first round. So
good. Great.
Yep, good times over here. So, so that's that. So, yeah, Niners, Hawks, round 3. You want to go ahead and talk about your boys?
Oh, sure. The way I was kind of breaking down this game is I'm completely convinced it's going to be a 50-50 toss-up, very close game. The closest one we played all year. There's no doubt in my mind. I refuse to believe anything other than that, no matter what any other.
You're not going to listen to your friends on Facebook?
No, I just can't do it. It's not, it isn't going to happen. That's not how it's going to be. I'm 100% certain that this is going to be a game where I want to just kill myself the entire time because of the anxiety. It's going to be close. It's going to be possibly back and forth. Or, I just know it's going to be close. I'm 100% sure. And I thought about this game as like I gave 3, like a pro 49ers 3 points and a pro Seahawks 3 points. And this is kind of what I came up with. I'm going pro 49ers and pro Seahawks, both the same player right here. So pro 49ers, I'm going Brock Purdy. He's been the number 1 rated quarterback in the NFL and tied for first in wins and number 1 in yards per pass attempt since he came in to that Dolphins game. So that's good. But I'm going pro Seahawks with Purdy as well because he's a rookie quarterback in the playoffs, and you just truly never know how they're going to react to the pressure.
Real quick, I'll throw in a tidbit for that. The last rookie quarterback to win a playoff game, Russell Wilson in 2012. Technically 2013. The game was in 2013, but it was 2012 season. So.
Well, that's kind of like a full circle thing. Like that it started with you and it could end with you with the rookie quarterback winning for the 49ers against you. Yeah. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of woulda, shouldas, and a lot of weird things. But, so I'm definitely going Purdy as a pro 49ers and a pro Hawks. It literally could fall on any side. He's clearly been good the last 5 weeks, 5.5 weeks. And, he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo's ever been, even in the regular season for those weeks. I'm still waiting for it to come crashing down, and I just hope it doesn't just yet. That's all. But, so for my second pro 49ers, I'll say our injured players are all coming back. We're pretty much roughly the healthiest we've been all year. And, Devo came back last week. Elijah Mitchell came back last week. No setbacks. They're good to go for the Seahawks game. Dre Greenlaw and Aaron Banks are starting offensive guard and middle linebacker. Didn't play last week, but they are going to practice in full this week and are good to go. So, anybody that's on the 53-man roster right now is healthy and ready to go. So that's a pro 49ers thing. Like I said, it's not the healthiest we've been all year because maybe halfway through the year or the very beginning of the year, clearly we were more healthy, but it's relatively the healthiest we've been all year, and we're just ready to go. So then I'll go another Hawks pro, the 3 times curse. Well, it's not technically a curse. I did see that, teams that have won the first 2 are basically like 60% winning the third one if you play a team 3 times in a season, but it's definitely not like, oh, you won the first 2, you're definitely going to win that third one because you're clearly better. That's not how it is. It's roughly a toss-up on that third game. So the 3 times curse is definitely a pro Hawks. If you ask me, it's just tough to beat a team 3 times in one season. That's for sure. So there's 2 and 2. And my third one, pro 49ers, I'll say the line of scrimmage. I think no matter what happens in this game, how close it's going to be, whatever team does what, the 49ers are definitely better at the line of scrimmage, defensive line, offensive line. And one stat I found is during the first 2 games, pressures given up allowed by each team. The 49ers have had 54 pressures against Geno Smith, which seems unlikely, but that's the number I looked up. It says 54, and you guys had 11 against us. To me, that seems impossible, but I've seen it twice now in 2 different stats I looked up. So I got to say that's probably showing that we'll give up less pressures in this game and probably get more pressures in this game. That doesn't mean we'll win, but I'll just say it for a pro 49ers, I think the line of scrimmage, we have the edge overall, if you're talking offensive and defensive line. And now I'm going to go with I think this is a big Hawks pro. DK and Lockett versus Diamador Lenore and Jimmy Ward. So I think Charvarius Ward, our cornerback 1, is going to shadow DK.
Yeah, he did really well against DK both games this year. So
yeah, Charvarius Ward's a stud. I'm not worried about him one bit. He might give up a play here and there. He's a stud. If he truly, but I mean, yes, he's going to shadow DK, but that doesn't mean they're not going to have some creative motion. It's going to get him off of him. That's what she said. It's going to get him off of him one play or another here or there. So anytime DK gets matched up with Diamador Lenore, it's not going to be good news. If that happens, it's bad. Real bad for the 49ers. And then also Lockett in the slot on Jimmy Ward, who I love Jimmy Ward. He's a great free safety, but we've had to play him at slot corner this year for a couple reasons. One, because our free safety, Tashawn Gibson, has kind of stepped up and been huge. He's got like 5 or 6 interceptions this year, maybe 4 or 5. I don't remember. Sometimes I have stats, sometimes I guess, but he's been really good. And he actually started starting at the beginning of the year when Jimmy Ward got hurt, and he's been our starting free safety ever since. Like when Jimmy Ward came back, who's the longest tenured 49er, they did not give him the free safety job back. Tashawn Gibson kept it. So he's been playing slot cornerback due to some injuries, and while he's average, he's not above average there. And Lockett is an above average slot receiver, and he's already kind of had our number this year, and I don't foresee that changing in this game. I believe he's had 16 catches for 175 yards in the 2 games. I'm almost positive he's going to have 100 yards receiving in this game. So that's going to be a huge pro for the Hawks. Is just DK and Lockett versus Diamador Lenore and Jimmy Ward. And that's pretty much all I got for when I'm going to analysis. I'm now done thinking about it, and I just I'm going to bite my nails until Saturday.
So were those pretty much your keys then, basically, too?
Yeah, I would say I don't know if I did keys as much as I just did pros and cons for both teams a little bit. So that's what I'm going with.
All right. Well, while we're on the topic of that secondary and then the receivers, I guess I'll start with this point here. So, yeah, obviously, if there is any one weakness in that Niners defense, it would be that secondary. I know your boy, how do you say it?
Talanoa Hufanga. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. He's actually excellent. He makes all the big plays, but he also gives up big plays because he's trying for the big plays. Yeah, so that definitely can happen. It's definitely happened. It's been like 3 or 4 times this year he's given up a big play. So it happens.
He can definitely be baited into going one way.
Oh God, yes,
and then
100%
the other way. So I think Geno's got to work a lot of that, kind of give him some misdirection there and get him off balance so he doesn't know what's going on.
And I will say this: I wouldn't change him for the world, though. I like that he looks for.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Yeah, and he'll get better this is his first year starting, but I don't want him to ever change that aggressiveness because that's what makes him good. So obviously he could give up a big play, a 60-yard touchdown, whatever. It's happened, but he's got to keep playing the way he's playing because that's what makes him the player he is.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so to that, I mean, Geno's got to be on his A game. I know he's going to get pressure. That the pressure's going to be there. It's going to happen. So he's got to be in his A game. Geno, for the most part, throughout the year, has been pretty done pretty well under pressure. So he's got to keep that up. He's got to be a little smarter with the ball because here and there over the last few weeks, really the last month or so, he has tried to force some things, especially the DK. He's got to kind of reel that back in, be a little bit more conservative. There's been some games I've seen, where he's got the check down to either, I think like there's DJ Dallas usually are passing down backs or DJ, or he's got a tight end there in the flat, but he tries to go for more of the medium or deep. So he's kind of getting a little Russell Wilson-ish there. So he needs to kind of reel that back in a little bit and just stick with what works. I'd rather get the 4 or 5 yard gain on second down and make it like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2 instead of going for a deep pass and either gets picked off or it's incomplete and then we have 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. I'd rather get some yardage there if we're in like those first or second down situations like that. I know you're talking about Lockett and DK. There is a third guy that I want to bring up that has kind of been coming up the last couple of weeks. And this is I have 2 key players that I want to touch on that are kind of under the radar players. And every year in the playoffs, you have these players on these teams in the playoffs that kind of come out of nowhere and end up being what you call your under the radar dark horse players that really help propel a team. So for me, one of those players is Derek Young. We drafted him in the 7th round. He's a wide receiver. He got a lot more looks last week on some motion plays, some screens that actually worked with him. He's pretty shifty, so I'd like to see us kind of get him a little bit more involved because I do think one or the other. I don't think both are going to have good games with Lockett and Metcalf, like you said. Ward.
Yeah, Ward. You're right.
Ward will be,
we got 2 of them. We got 2 of them
shadowing either DK or Lockett, either one, most likely DK. But so I really feel like it's going to come down to the other guys, such as, like I said, Derek Young, and he's looked good. He's made the most of his opportunities the last couple weeks, so he's got a chance now to really keep that going into the playoffs, and he can definitely be a difference maker here as a third receiver. And then my other under-the-radar player who's also been playing pretty well recently, and I'm glad he's getting more reps because he always seems to shine in the preseason and always wanting to get more looks in the regular season, is DJ Dallas. Obviously, everything the running game is going to run through Kenneth Walker, and I'll talk a little bit about him soon too, but everything with that's going to run through him, and Walker has gotten involved in the passing game, but as far as on passing downs, picking up blitzes, and then being that kind of check down guy and for passing plays, DJ, he's been rock solid, and he's had some good plays, kept drives going for us this year, especially recently, so that's another one of those under the radar guys I think can keep some of this momentum he has going in the playoffs into this game. And then now, talking about the Wildcat, because we did run some Wildcat last week and were very successful with it with DJ Dallas here at the center of it. I don't want to see any of the passing from him like week 2, but throwing
I disagree.
I think getting some of that Wildcat mix in there. If we get on the Niners side of the field, I'd say anywhere from the 30 in is where we can maybe run some more of that stuff to kind of get the defense off balance and kind of confuse a little bit. But just don't throw the ball with him again. Don't do that.
Sure, if you say so.
So Derek Young, DJ Dallas are the 2 names that I'd be keeping an eye on as under the radar players this week. The defense is really, here we go again. I feel like it's the second, third time saying this year. It's been a roller coaster this year, so we're kind of on the upper end right now. So hopefully it's not going to be coming down this week. But it's really been improved the last few weeks. Really ever since the second half of the last 49ers game, it's been improved because the thing with that second Niners game is, it really was closer than it seemed. I know there was a controversial call there with the pick 6 that was taken away. But honestly, I'd say it was closer than even that 21-13 scoreline suggested because it really came down to 3 things in that game. 1, Travis Homer fumbled the ball right before halftime and gave you guys that touchdown basically. 2, well, actually 2 and 3, those busted coverage touchdowns of George Kittle. Take away those mistakes, it's a whole different game, honestly. So. And really, you go back to the first time I played you guys too. A lot of I know that was more of a blowout, 27-7. Although honestly, you could even say that game was closer than the score.
Oh, that game was closer than the score for sure.
That one came down
in my mind.
Some mistakes as well from the Seahawks. With that bad Wildcat play, some penalties that took away some big plays. Obviously, the run defense was awful then, even worse than whatever it is now. It's better now, obviously, but it was awful then. So really, these 2 games with the Niners, I know statistically you look at things, it looks like the Niners dominated us during the season, which, to an extent, yes, you guys did. But also there is some stuff you got to kind of read between the lines with these stats, because honestly, if you watch the games, it was honestly closer than really those stats would implore that it was.
Agreed. Don't got to convince me.
Yeah, so really it's going to come down to just avoiding those mistakes that the Hawks made in those first 2 games. They can avoid those mistakes, play clean football, because they're going to have to. They're going to pretty much have to be as perfect as they possibly can be to beat the Niners this week. So yeah, just learn from those mistakes in the past games, and talking about the defense, the pass rush has been improved the last few weeks. It's actually been one of the top pass rushes in the league, and I know you can look at the teams and say, oh, well, it's because of teams they face, and well, at the same time though, you still got to play the game. And there were teams they faced earlier in the year that they should have had good pass rushing against, but they didn't. So it's been improved. We started using Boye Mafe more. I think he's had a couple sacks the last few weeks. We started using him more. Bruce has gone going again. Daryl Taylor has been amazing this year. I think he's ended with 10.5 or 11 sacks. Most of those came in the last second half of the season. So let's keep that pass rush going. Kobe Bryant actually has been playing a little bit of a Jamal Adams role, coming in on blitzes and getting some pressure in there. He had 2 sacks this year total. He had a sack last week, so he's kind of played that little bit of that hybrid role where he comes in to blitz off the edge a little bit. So look out for some of that too. So just keep that pass rush going, because we're going to have to pressure Purdy. Especially, like you mentioned, he's a rookie quarterback in the playoffs. I know he's been dominating, but the playoffs are a different story. There's more pressure. And there's especially more pressure on you guys in this game, because honestly, we've said it, the Seahawks right now are playing with house money. The Seahawks, they're not supposed to be here. The Niners are. So Seahawks really...
I truly believe we have everything to lose and you guys have everything to gain. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, you got Pete Carroll yesterday at the VMAC riding around in a scooter, just all free, just not even worrying about a thing. So you can tell, that's how he usually keeps things, but really it's... And they wouldn't say it, but yeah, they're playing with house money right now. If anything past this is even more amazing, because they weren't supposed to be here. So that's pretty much it. I guess I'll give my keys now. So my keys for this game, number 1 is going to be defense communication, like we talked about. Both of those games earlier in the season, especially the last one in Seattle, was a lot of breakdowns that led to those big plays and those touchdowns. So defense communication, make sure guys are on the same page, no busted coverages, pick each other up. Number 2, going to have to find ways to offset the Niners pass rush, and that's really going to rest on getting Kenneth Walker going. This is really the first game I think the Niners are going to get to see like a true, fully healthy Kenneth Walker, because week 2, he wasn't really fully healthy. That was actually the first game he was active for, and he didn't really play much because we still had Penny then. And then a few weeks ago, he was still kind of coming back from the injury he had with his foot, so he wasn't 100%. So Kenneth Walker, he's been on a tear the last few weeks, 100 yards, 3 straight games. He should definitely have Offensive Rookie of the Year locked up for sure, I'd say. So gonna need that to keep rolling. I don't think you guys allowed a 100-yard rusher at all this year. I don't think you even allowed 75 yards. Right?
I want to say that's true, but I swear. Okay, so the rate did Josh Jacobs might have ended that. I'm not sure. I truly cannot remember.
So if he did, it was only close. One guy though. So
yeah, yes, for sure. There hasn't been another one. I know that, but the Raiders actually scored like 34 points, and that was an off game for sure. It was a blip. So yeah.
So offset that Niners pass rush, like I said, do that get Walker going. Gonna need to really attack that early. Get a lot of that play action going, get some of that wildcat even going if we get down there, Niners side of the field. And then number 3, I guess I kind of already mentioned this. It kind of goes to number 2. Keep K9 rolling. Keep feeding the K9. Keep him rolling. It's gonna matter. It's gonna come down to who controls the ball more. And we need to be able to run the ball in this game, really to be able to have a chance to keep Purdy off the field and rest our defense, because that's been an issue throughout the season a lot. At different points. I know that's been the main issue in the 2 games we played you guys earlier in the year was time of possession and those mistakes. Just don't get too fancy with things. Just keep pounding the ball, even if it at first it doesn't work. Just keep it going and got to keep that pass rush as much offset and off bounce as we can to give Geno a chance then when we throw the ball. So yeah, defense communication, offset the pass rush, and keep K9 rolling as on the hot streak he's been on. Those are my 3 keys.
Well, fine. Now I'm jealous that you had 3 keys, so now I'm going to give my 3 keys
to
a 49ers victory. And I'll say 1 is very simply you have to make the throws at the beginning very easy for Brock Purdy. Shanahan's the best at scheming guys open in the NFL. He just is. I believe that at least. So for the rookies, first, at the very least at the beginning of the game, first quarter, first half, got to get them comfortable, got to get them settled in. Get those Kittles and those Debos open and CMCs, get them wide open, let them dump off a pass and let them go for 10, 15 yards. Get their confidence built. So set them up with easy passes would be my first key. Second key would be to win the turnover battle or not lose the turnover battle. That's at the very least. You can't lose a turnover battle to any team, and especially in the playoffs. And third, which is low-key, one of the more important ones is, I don't know, the Seahawks seem to always have big special teams plays. So it's not that we got to do anything spectacular on special teams. Just can't have any lousy mistakes on special teams or let you guys do something really crazy on special teams, like a blocked field goal for a touchdown, like week 2 or whatever it was. Or that was week 2.
Week 2.
Was that last year? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. So, easy throws for Purdy, set him up for success, at least early. And then once he's comfortable, maybe let him do his Purdy stuff. But, then number 2, win the turnover battle. Don't lose the turnover battle at the very least. And 3, special teams. Be good at it.
All right. Well, before we get into the rest of the picks, let's just go ahead and get this knocked out right here. So, who are you taking?
Well, it is the first game, so we might as well, right?
Yep. So what are you going here?
I'm just going to continue the 10-week in a row tradition. It's 49ers by 1.
All right. And, before I make mine, I'm just going to say this because people are going to call me crazy. I know, and people already know. If you follow me on Facebook or anything like that, you already know I'm calling it. But I have the same, and I've told you this, I have the same gut feeling heading into this week as I did against the Saints back in 2011, January 2011, 2010 season. And I remember I was being called crazy then because it was would have been quite the upset, and it was quite the upset. I've got that same gut feeling about this, so I'm going Seahawks with the upset by 1.
All right.
All right. Well,
rival talk indeed. Indeed.
Spicy. All right. Well, let's go ahead and knock out the rest of the games then. So the next game that we got, the Saturday night, Chargers at Jags. This game, like I said earlier, to me, it truly is a coin flip of a game.
Yeah, so you're obviously we're both flip-flopping on this one, and I think you're going to pick whatever I don't pick. And I had Jacksonville, then I switched it to the Chargers. I'm going to go fudge.
You want to just coin flip this?
God, I don't know. We're not very good at coin flips. Okay, so you know what? I'm going Jacksonville by 1 because I think Brandon Staley's going to do something stupid to lose the game. That's what I'm doing.
What, like start his players in a meaningless game?
Yeah, or that. Yeah. So I'm flipping again, and I'm going Jacksonville by 1.
All right. Then I myself am flipping again, and I'm going Chargers by 1.
All right.
Miami at Buffalo. This isn't even Skylar Thompson's playing. 2 is officially out. This isn't even a contest. So
yeah, Miami might run away with it.
Right. Yeah. So Bills by 10.
All right. I got Buffalo by 24.
So if they score, if they win by less than 24, you lose a point, right? That's what you.
No, we're not doing that. 24.
All right. Giants at Vikings.
This one's pretty tough.
The Giants did almost beat the Vikings a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and Minnesota's not been playing all that well down the stretch, other than just winning at the end of games.
And luckily for actually, no, this is actually Eastern time, so it's going to be past 1 o'clock. It's past 1 o'clock in primetime playoff game.
And if it's playoffs and it's past 11 or 1 or whatever, so it's definitely not good. I'm not confident at all in this pick, but I am going to go Minnesota by 1. I don't like this game one bit.
I'm glad you're picking that because I did want to pick the Giants anyway, so I'm going Giants by 1.
Well, there you go.
I was going to pick them anyways, too, so I'm glad you're going Vikings.
Congrats on your victory.
Congratulations to you. So.
Yeah.
All right, and we got another divisional matchup. This one just played last week. Now they're playing again. Baltimore at Cincinnati. I think we both have the same one here. I'm going Bengals
I can't
by 3.
see much of a reason. Yeah,
Because I
There's
think
no
I
way
heard
Baltimore wins this game, right?
Lamar was supposed to play, but he hasn't practiced. Sounds like he's going to be out again still. So
Yeah, I don't think he's playing. I truly don't. And even Tyler Huntley is a little hurt. I don't think there's. Yeah, although Bills and Dolphins is about as sure thing as you can get, I don't think this is all that far off. I know Baltimore has a better defense, but it's not happening. Cincinnati's winning. And I'll just take Cincy by 10.
All right, and then the Monday night game, Dallas at Tampa Bay.
I hate this one as well. These are actually, a lot of these games are very tough to pick. And now I want to switch.
Is this going to be Brady's last game in Tampa before he heads off to Vegas?
Oh, my gosh. I have Dallas by 3 here, but I kind of want to switch. You know what? Whatever. Dallas by 3. I'll just keep it. They're going to lose. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's stupid. But here we go.
I did not want to pick the Cowboys. I root for the Cowboys.
No, I can't stand it. I don't want to do it, but I have this. I don't even have a feeling, so I don't know what I'm doing. But go ahead, Dallas by 3. I'll give you a free 2 points swing there.
All right. Well. Hey, if that's like I said, I'll take you getting 6 points as long as I get the one that matters. So
no, I already told you. You can have the 6 points. That's fine. I'll give up a lot of the lead as long as the 49ers win. That's fine.
Oh, see, I didn't say it, but obviously I'm taking the Bucks by 2. So I think Brady's got one more game left after this in Tampa before he heads to this Sin City. So
yeah, probably. But
all right. Well, so let's see. We got 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Four differences. So it's
the most differences we've had in a very long time, and it's all in the playoffs.
This is gonna be the make or break pot, regardless of how the scoring goes the next couple weeks. Although who knows? Maybe divisional round will be +5, and then Super Bowl will be +20. We'll see. So
I'll bet it will.
You can take me out to Texas Roadhouse then.
Yeah, the best restaurant.
All right, so real quick recap. You got Jags, I got Chargers. We both have Bills. You got Vikings, I got Giants. We both have the Bengals. You've got them boys. I've got TB, and then you've got the Niners, obviously, and then I have the Seahawks. So, well, here we go.
Yeah.
I will say,
thinking about it.
I know it's a small sample size, but as history has proven, the team that wins between these two in the playoffs goes on and wins the Super Bowl. So there's that. I know it's a 1-game sample size, but
Yeah, you're right. That's 100% though. That's
yeah.
Wow, I never even thought about that either. Wow, look at all these stats.
Time we've been in the playoffs. So,
well, here's to you not winning this game then, because that would really suck for me.
Well, same to you. So. I assume there's probably going to be about a 24, 48 hour buffer after the game for us.
Oh God, yeah. Oh man, yeah, for sure. I will respect any wishes you have after that one. And if it's me, definitely.
I'd say honestly, for me, if we do lose, I'll be fine because, like I said, I'm happy to be here. Anything more is great. So. I know for you it'd be hard.
I will not be fine. I can already tell you right now.
I'll say this actually: if it's a game where we should win, like it depends on how the game goes. Like if it's clear that we're winning and we should win, but we blow it, then don't talk to me for about 24 hours. But
got it.
If if it just goes the way it goes and it is what it is, then it's whatever.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So all right. Well, don't get these kind of episodes very often, so...
No, we sure don't.
Yeah. It's been either way, whatever happens, it's been a fun season, at least on my end, so we'll see if
it definitely has. It's been a good year, no doubt. I mean, there's been some weird stuff, but overall, it's worked out better than I could have imagined, quite honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you didn't imagine this when Trey Lance went down a week, too, so...
No, I didn't. And then Jimmy Garoppolo went down? Yeah. Oh. No, I mean, as far as regular season
I told you guys were going to be. I told you not to worry. You guys were going to be.
You did. I did not believe you 100%.
No worries, man. No worries.
If we even make it. But there's no way I could have. Even if Brock Purdy could have just treaded water and been okay, average and won a couple games. No, I never thought he was going to be this. I'm not saying he's like great or anything. He truly is it's definitely a product of the Shanahan system a little bit at the very least. There's no doubt in my mind. But he's still doing what he needs to do. He's got a little bit of an it factor that truly I haven't seen out of a 49ers quarterback in I guess since Kaepernick's early years, probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, I guess there's nothing else really to discuss here.
No.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you this week.
Yeah, you too. I'll go ahead and be nice. Good luck.
Yep. Good luck, but obviously I hope your team loses, but good luck. Best wishes.
Touche, ditto.
All right, well, obviously we'll talk throughout the week, and whatever happens, and we'll see what happens, see who's in the better mood next week, see who comes in and has the intro next week, I guess, so.
Yeah, okay. We will see.
Yep. It will be what it will be.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to think how bad it'll be if the 49ers lose. That's all. I don't know what kind of episode I'll be able to do during that episode.
Well, on the bright side, that happens, 4 or 5 weeks till pitches and catches report. So.
Yeah, I won't be able to think about that at that point, but I do get it, yes.
If all else fails, just come out here and live on the light rail. That's why we're going to have to do.
Yep, and we got Stephen Volk now, so we're good.
Yes, that was awesome. So random, but awesome.
Quite random.
All right, well, thank you all for watching this spicy edition of Rival Talk, Wild Card Weekend, and Round 3 of the 49ers Seahawks, a playoff matchup. So we'll see what happens, and yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, like the video, and as always, Seahawks Nation, let's fly.